Hey everybody, Amanda here with Hudson Valley Soapery. Did you know that you can use the techniques of polymer clay with soap dough? Today I'm going to show you how I use the slab caning technique with soap dough instead of clay. This is some soap dough I made from my Gen X 80s soap bar. I'm going to put a card on the top if you want to watch that video as well. So right now I'm going to condition my soap dough just the same way you would condition polymer clay if you have ever worked with it. And that is just breaking it apart and using the warmth of your hands to get it a little bit softer, because we are going to be taking this soap dough and rolling it out into longer, smaller logs, the same way you would, again, with polymer clay. The difference here is that you don't need to be too exact with your widths, the technique I'm doing today. You just want to roll it out so it's somewhat uniform, but I do some smaller ones, some thicker ones. And then I'm going to cut it in half so it's a little bit easier to work with, roll out anything that looks too thick. And basically I'm going to take all of the soap dough and do the same thing. So I won't bore you. I'll speed this up real fast. I'm going to go through all my colors. I am going to slow it down here. I'm going to show you how you can also do this same technique if you wanted to be more precise and make your logs, I guess that's the name for it, logs, a little bit more uniform. And you can create things like flowers and spider webs and anything you could create basically with polymer clay caning. You most likely can also create it with soap dough. I haven't tried everything, and this certainly is a test bar for me. This is a test batch, but you can create the same thing. Normally those yellow logs you would also wrap in like another color, like white, so that each petal stands out, but you can get the idea here of how this would work with soap dough. And you can make slices, and you can make just like top embeds, or you can make full embeds. Okay, so let's just get through everything, and then when I'm done cutting or rolling all of these out, I'm going to start cutting them into little pieces. First I do it with my X-Acto knife. I do move to a larger knife, and then, you know, presto, they're all cut. I also add some black little pieces in here as well. So here we are with our little pieces. What I'm going to do next is add some gold mica. Now you can add any color mica. Oh, help a girl out and subscribe if you would. Okay, so now we're just mixing our mica in. I just wanted to test it and see if that came through in the final product. I was going to add activated charcoal, and then I thought better of it. You know, the gold mica gets messy as it is. The activated charcoal would be a complete mess, but you could try it with any mica or charcoal. When using polymer clay, a lot of times people will add liquid clay when they're making these types of slabs, just to get it to like congeal together a little bit more. I didn't want to add water or a liquid on here because this is soap dough and it is already soap basically, so I didn't want this to get too messy. But in the future I might experiment with that, adding a little bit of distilled water to get it to kind of stick together more. But I didn't really have to worry about that because you'll see in the end, it wouldn't have really made a difference. It might have just made it messier. So now I just roll this out into a nice uniform log while pressing it down so that all of those little pieces kind of come together. And you can see here, how beautiful is that? For this embed, I am going to be creating a heart. So I'm rolling 2 logs out. Lessons learned here. It was probably better if I rolled it out in 1 log to be a little bit more uniform. What I'm doing is I'm taking the back of a knife, pressing it in, and then I will push to either side to create the top of the heart. So here we are with the top of the heart. Again, lessons learned. If I had done this with it as 1 longer log, it may have been a little bit harder to work with, but it would have been a little bit more uniform. In the future, I will definitely think about new ideas of how to create these shapes that I want more uniformly, such as possibly finding a mold that I could press it into, like a heart embed mold that I might be able to press the soap dough into. I'm sure there are other ways. Right now, I'm going to now slice the bottom of the heart on an angle to create the pointy tip, the bottom of the heart. And I do have a little bit of excess soap dough there. I was going to use it in my final soaps, but I decided against it. Same thing with this log, and then we wrap it up, and then the next day I will start making the soap. Here we are, next day. This recipe for the soap dough and the soap is in the description. I've already added titanium dioxide to my oils because my fragrance oil discolors to yellow. I added about a tablespoon of table salt to my lye water. What this will allow me to do is unmold it in 4 hours. It creates a beautiful bar of soap. Sometimes I use sodium lactate, sometimes I use salt. Scraping to get all of my lye out. And then we'll just mix her up. You want to get a decent trace on this when you're putting your embeds in. I was also a little bit worried about it setting up too fast so that the top pour wouldn't work out as well. So lessons learned, I should have waited 5 minutes longer for the soap I put in to set up a little bit longer, because this first embed I put in sank a little bit lower than the second embed I'm going to put in. But you'll see. The fragrance I'm using today is Satsuma by Crafter's Choice. I will also put all the colors I used, everything in the description. So now I marked where that seam is so that when I cut the soap, I can cut on either side of it. Again, lessons learned, next time I will just do 1 full embed. I took those extra pieces out thinking I might use them, but I decided against it. Okay, so 4 hours later, I also C-pop my soap, so I oven process it. I'll put those instructions in the description. This is 4 hours later. My soap is still a little bit warm, but it is hard enough to cut. And you'll see it's not mushy or anything. I'm cutting right in the middle on either side of my mark. And there she is. They came out really nice. I will, in the future, I'll definitely shape my embed a little bit better so it's more uniform like that part of the heart on the top is a little bit wonky and not exactly in the middle where I like it. So, I'll make some adjustments. But all of these will be available in my shop on Etsy. I only make small batches. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm more than happy to answer.